Yoski was good. So, man, like I talked about in one of my other videos, bro, I said I had a family member, a cousin, man, who, you know, really on his A game that, got an interesting story, that be going through a lot, that be doing a lot. You dig what I'm saying? And, it's inspiring. We have a conversation down there every day, and I always, draw something from it. It's just like my real day one for real. And, what he got to say, I feel like a lot of people should hear this. So, I'm gonna just go ahead and introduce it a little bit, and I want you to kind of pick up. So, this is my cousin Phab. Now, I talked about him in the video. I said I moved to Alaska with my cousin, and he was doing school, and we was running a business, and learning a lot out there. It's him. His dad is my uncle I was talking about. Um, he graduated from college, went to college, came out with a degree. He doing a lot of things, and I'm proud of him. So, you know, Fave kind of, start off small, introduce, where you from, bro. Was good.
Cuz man, for y'all who don't know me, my name Phabian. Everybody know we from Lafayette, but we grew up in Lafayette, but we, lived in BR most of our childhood life. So really from that rack, man, 22 years old, shit, from Louisiana, that's it, just young nigga trying to make it, man.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of, Lafayette and Louisiana, how was, Lafayette growing up? I always talk about Lafayette. I always talk good about Lafayette. Whenever I'm in Lafayette, I just feel like I'm at home when I'm out there. It's something about it.
Yeah, yeah, most deaf. I say all our childhood memories was, all good. We get into stuff. We really country boys at heart, living in the country. All
Right.
you got to do is, shoot guns, ride four-wheelers, go get off in them ditches, go do whatever, it's me, you, and Chaz. And so it's really all we knew, going to the Boys and Girls Club, living in Abbeville,
Yeah.
real country boy living, man, ain't
Yeah.
getting into no trouble, but, really just getting into anything we could. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. So about what age you moved to Baton Rouge?
Man, I say I moved to BR probably first grade.
First
First
grade?
grade. Yeah.
I know that's kind of young for you, but moving from Baton Rouge, I mean, from Lafayette to Baton Rouge, you noticed the immediate change in like the people, but how they acted, how they talked.
Yeah, yeah, most deaf. I say, from Lafayette to Abbeville, everybody really know each other, everybody family. So, somebody from somewhere. But in Baton Rouge, it's so many different people out there. Like Baton Rouge really small, but it's really big because it go damn near from the north to the south, all the way to Scotlandville, all the way to, everywhere. So it's really Port Allen in the mix, everybody in the mix with it. So it's kind of like they got so many people to see, so many people to mingle with, you know, everybody from different areas. So they got their own little melting pot of how they speak, what they rep, you know. So yeah, it was different. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that's another thing too. Like, to say Baton Rouge, like, affected so much of my life and I was raised around out here. I really can't say what part of Baton Rouge I'm really from. Like, that's another thing too. Like with Lafayette, these your roots. You grew up out here. This where your people at. You can go to Lafayette and go sleep at somebody's house. You don't gotta know who house you're going to. You know you're gonna eat. You know you're gonna be straight. And Baton
Right.
Rouge, we don't really, we got a few family members, but it's like nobody. Our family is not dispersed out here a lot. So
Yeah.
I feel like that. So, so growing up in Baton Rouge, let's talk about it. People got a conception about Baton Rouge. We got a lot of famous people that a perception about Baton Rouge. We got a lot of famous people that come out of here, with different stories and things like that. How was Baton Rouge for you personally?
Man, I say, it's a blessing in disguise for real. Teach you how to stay on your feet, Always be aware of your surroundings, always understand that everybody don't have the best interest for you. But always, stay on your pivot and make sure that you're doing right. Make sure you can't let nobody else knock you off your pivot because they got it's crabs in the bucket where we from. So it's like, all right, cool. If I'm getting to the top, make sure I'm stay humble with it. And I ain't, flaunting myself because look, they got other crabs in the bucket that see me climbing, they gonna knock me down every chance they get. So, Make sure you be conspicuous about what you got going on. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings, but you also don't gotta speak and talk on every little thing.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. I feel like, especially in the South, we like that we mind our business a lot. We're not sticking our nose and what other people got going on. That's something you learn young. You get
Yeah,
into it with people, you get in fights with people behind stuff like this. And as a kid, you might genuinely be curious about what's going on, and it cause you to kind of just sniff around. But it mold that in you to kind of, like you say, be aware of what's going on, but I'm not in your business. I see you over there, but I'm not watching. You feel what I'm saying?
right.
It,
Yeah.
it helped mold you into that. I always say a lot of the time I feel like Baton Rouge got a black cloud over it, you know, because a lot of the dangerous things that's going on. But I also feel like it's a lot you can learn from it. I always say this too on my channel, like you can learn from a crackhead, bro. Like whatever situation you in, bro, you could pull something out of it, and if you're able to always look at a situation from that point of view, then I feel like you'll be able to come out all right, at least not
Most
fucked up.
definitely. Most
So
definitely.
um just a quick, so what's some of the stuff you remember getting into as a kid? Like what was having a good time as a kid for you?
Man, shit, playing football, shit, us running around my mother house, getting stuck in the ditch, fighting, getting put in the ditch, shooting out the windows,
Yeah.
going to the Boys and Girls Club, catching y'all boys sleep on the floor, getting put out the Boys and Girls Club, going
Yeah.
to the country, then moving to BR and, linking up every weekend, going to football games every weekend, getting my football pass for the whole game one weekend, man. Forgot everything, cleats, pads, and helmet. Had a whole game. Yeah, man. But a
Yeah.
lot of going to the park, playing basketball, just doing any little thing like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, yeah, hell yeah. So you say you had a pretty decent childhood. You did a lot of things that a child should do. You feel me?
Yeah,
Had
most
a
deaf,
good
man.
time.
Most deaf.
For sure, for sure. So we progress forward. So now let's say middle school, high school years. When you moved, how long did you live in Baton Rouge? Let me ask you this before I ask you this next question. Like when I know, well, I know that we moved. So about when did you start to move? When you moved from Baton Rouge?
I say almost towards the end of my sixth grade year.
And then towards the end of your sixth grade. Yeah, okay, now I say that to say, as you're growing up into a man, as a young man, um, you know, what are some of the things that you started to notice that because let me see how I want to question it. Because when you're growing up, when you start hitting that puberty stage, you start seeing things for differently from what they are, or what you used to seeing them.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess my question is, um, damn, I lost my fuck, man. I forgot where I was going with. But we continue. So let's just go kind of dive straight into high school. So, we progress through middle school, grow up in Baton Rouge, and you shoot the you know, outside of town we stay in now. So we out here. How was your high school experience for you?
Man, I say focus on football a lot. So, high school experience was really, dedicated to sports. It was sports day in, day out. You heard me? From ninth grade all the way to 12th grade. I mean, that's really all I really cared about. I ain't really care about school. I ain't care about nothing else. Sports was cool to me. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I had a pretty good high school experience, though.
Let me ask you this. So why you think in the South football is so big out here? Like why you think like football is huge? When you're a kid, you playing football, when you're a little boy, like that's all you want to do. Football, football. Me too. That's all I want to do. Football. Like
That's the only positive spotlight that's really discussed. Like, whenever you have kids or like growing up as a kid, especially like moving to BR, you know, going to the break league, you see all these little black kids, man, like at the break league playing for Memorial Stadium, doing all these things. Is either that are you in the streets? So it's like, all right, cool. Like, ain't nobody ever preached college to me. I ain't never heard of college. You know, you see people football games. The only time you really watching the football games is, you know, the Bayou Classic. You know, on Sunday whenever the Saints playing, but everything really dedicated to football. So it's like, all right, cool. Either I'm gonna be in the streets or I'm gonna play ball. Which one you gonna choose? So choose play ball.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. So you play ball through high school. Now we come to the end of high school.
Right.
Right, it's time to make a decision. You know, we got college, we got going work for somebody, or we got trying to make this football thing work with college. What's your decision? Oh, what's your dream? What you want to do, and what's your decision that you end up making?
Man, my dream was to go play ball, give me a nice, decent D1 scholarship. The reality was, you know, nigga fucked off in school. So being that I messed up in school and I wasn't proactive with ACT, wasn't proactive with my studies, I had to settle for, you know, a D3 college in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that was my reality.
Yeah, so let me ask you this: how did that affect you, bro? Because you know, like you say, we grow up knowing it's either the street or football. You got to make a decision of what you want to do, and whenever you dedicated so much time and attention to football and trying to make it work, and for whatever reason it doesn't work, it doesn't for you. What you going through mentally? What you going through emotionally? What's this decision like whenever you trying to figure out? Okay, cool. I didn't get this D1 scholarship I wanted, but I got something.
I feel like at that point in my life, life was really turning for, I wouldn't say the worst, but really, you know, turning for the worst. Like, yeah, like grandma died, and then, you know, Chaston died all within 3 months, you know, 2 months span. So it's kind of like, all right, cool. Nah, you know, the two closest people that you had that you talked to, you know, not on a daily basis, but you was, yeah, like, you know, I always pick up the phone, one call, that's all. And you out of state. You don't even live in Louisiana at this point. So you having to adapt. So really life turning so quick is like, do I got time to think or do I got time to just go with the flow and let God take me wherever I go? So that's really what I chose, man. Like at this point, man, you know, I gotta make some shake. Going back home, you know, I was gonna go to Southern. That was my only option. Like I'm gonna just go to Southern or Southeastern, man. If I don't play football, that's it. Or I'm gonna just go work in Alaska, you know. But I was like, man, I'm gonna go get his football to try. You know, Mike was talking me into it. So I'm like, all right, Wisconsin it is. We're gonna go out there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So as you were speaking, you said I'm not in Louisiana no more. So let's talk about that. The end of high school, what ended up happening?
Man, a little discrepancy, you know. A young boy trying to learn how to be a man, and you know how it be, stepping on toes and stuff like that. Feeling like you outgrowing your shell, you know. Hermit crabs outgrow their shell sometimes and they gotta get a new one.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know, just outgrew my shell where I was.
Yeah.
So most so of, you know, clashing heads with a mama, man. Like, you know, my mama, that's my heart, but she can't teach a man how to be a man. You know, a woman could raise a boy to a young man. Hey, and salute to her, you feel me? By
Yeah.
all means. But there's some things out here in this world that you absolutely need a man in your life, no matter who it is.
Yeah.
Teach you
100%.
certain things, bro. And that's really what it was, man. I wanted freedom. Like I wanted to be able to do things, and I ain't really understand, you know, coming from where we come from is you go out in them streets, you know, you don't get no second chance. So mama paranoid. She don't want me to go out in the streets. She don't even want to give me an opportunity, even though I told her I wasn't in the streets. So it was like, you know, all right, this is my option. I'm gonna go for freedom. But that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm Arizona.
Okay, cool. So that's what I was about to ask you. So because you wanted this freedom, because you know you seeking this becoming a man, you need someone to teach you this. Um, what happened? So you moved to Arizona. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
How was Arizona for you?
man, Arizona was a different lifestyle. Opened my eyes to a lot of different things. Coming from Louisiana, first day at school, you know, people telling me you ain't from here. it's 60 degrees outside and you got shorts on. Like, what's wrong with you? So they off the rip, they knew I wasn't from there. They knew I talked different. They knew I walked different. Uh, so really, my pops had to teach me how to. Whenever you go places, you gotta adapt. Like if you're gonna live in this place, you gotta, still be yourself at heart, but you gotta dress alike. You gotta look apart. So that was something that I learned that was essential for where I'm at right now. Everywhere you go, you gotta look apart. You gotta make sure you fit in with the crowd, even though you really might not fit in.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Let me ask you this. It's true what they say whenever you move out of state, they like that Southern accent?
Most definitely, everybody attracted to something that they ain't really used to.
100%, 100%. Okay, cool. So boom. We graduate college. I mean, we graduate high school. Now we back to college. So we moved to Wisconsin, right? Okay, cool. So was this another culture shock you had to go through moving out there?
Man, I could remember being on the phone with you about to pull up to the school. I'm saying I must be lost. I'm in the cornfields. Bust the left. Boom. All I see the school, man. I'm like, damn. Feel like this the worst mistake I ever made, man. So,
Yeah, yeah,
it was definitely a culture shock. I feel like, man, I could have been back. I could have went to Nichols or UL or something if I was gonna be way out here in the cornfields, man.
yeah, yeah.
It all worked out for me, so I can't trip.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. For sure, sure. So we came out here to play football. How this going for you at this point out here?
Man, football taught me a lot. Within my first season of playing ball, literally first game, me playing in the first game, I ended up tearing my ACL. You know, life just went to shit. I feel like, all right, cool, I lost two of my closest people, and something that I love to do. All right. Now where I go with this. Because I really only came up here with the one original plan. Play ball, transfer, go to another school. I ain't have no backup plan. So now I had to come to the realization that, all right, cool, it's a business. And they made it like a business. They showed me it was a business. So, I told myself I was gonna dedicate it to, I was finna transfer, but my credits wouldn't transfer because I went to a private school. I was gonna go to Southern, but they didn't transfer. So I was like, all right, I ain't got no choice but to stay up here, get my degree, and make the best out of my situation.
Yeah, 100% and 100%. And while you say that, while you're on that topic, bro, I want to point this out to you and point this out to people that's watching, bro. This the second time as a fresh out of high school where you done had a life altering decision you had to make. You went through something. You did what I'm saying, and
Yeah,
I want to use that as motivation to people that, bro, understand you're gonna go through something, man. You're gonna go through something. You're gonna get tested, and you're gonna have decisions that you're gonna have to make. I mean, already look so far. This man didn't even finish his first semester of college, and he didn't already at the college he didn't want to go to, and he just had an injury that can affect his whole career. That's something big. And so while we on this, I want to ask you this: what we going through now? We tore our ACL. We know what people are saying. We know what people say about people when you do something like that as it relates to football and careers. And so early in your career, you still got to go. In college, I feel when not to say you're not putting in no work in the NFL, but in college, you trying to go like you eat a star. Like somebody,
right,
you got to make a name for yourself. You got
right.
this is where it start for real. So especially with the path you want to take, D3 transfer D1. So you tell your ACL, what these nights looking like whenever you by yourself, whenever them doors is closed. How you feeling?
Man, it's a everyday battle with your mind. It's like, no surrender, no retreat. Either you're gonna get up the next day and you're gonna get to it, and you're gonna go to these classes and it's negative 20 degrees outside. My first year there, it was negative 50 degrees. I had already told my ACL negative 50 degrees, and then understanding that racism was real, man. Like I told my ACL in September, I ain't gonna get my surgery till almost November. But they had other dudes on the team who told their ACL that was getting theirs the very next week. So I didn't really understand, why I was being placed on the back burner and things like that. A lot of little shady things that was coming to reality of, we lived in Louisiana our whole life and we never really realized that racism was real out there because you so used to it. But whenever you placed in a different environment that you don't know nothing about, your lens different, your spectacle's different. So you see everything for what it is. You walk in a grocery store and you telling people, hey, how you doing? And they looking at you like you a real object. So it's different. Like it made me feel uncomfortable, like I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
But that was a challenge in itself because it was like, it's the fact that you're not supposed to be here, but you here. So make something out of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that, bro. I love that, bro. I preach that a lot, bro. Literally, last video I just posted was talking about taking the lenses off, my dog. Taking your glasses off, And it's good that at a young age you was able to look at that situation and find one of the views. It's like them old school things where you could flip the thing and you see different stuff. It's like
Yeah,
like
yeah,
flip the lens until you found a positive outlook on it. Because, bro, at this point, it's a million different bad reasons I could look at what's going on, bro. You
right.
feel me? And to be able to find it, bro, I salute that. So, boom, we progressed through college, right? So,
Yeah.
what was your decision as far as football? Well, what happens? What happens football wise, career wise?
Football wise, I did tell myself that I was gonna go back out there. I was
Mm-hmm.
gonna go play for the next year. But as I was going through the season, I went to practice every day. And this is what I had to understand. Like this was the harsh reality about football. Boom. You know, man, the only thing the coach told me the whole season, they told me two things. One, hand me a ball. The other one, you come to practice every day and you don't even play. And you got a torn ACL. I could respect a man like that. All right, cool. I respect somebody for telling me that. But at the end of the day, I understand that this is a business, man. So now I need to make a business decision for myself that's gonna boost me up financially, mentally, all the way around. Like it's gonna make a beneficial impact for me and mine. Cause what I'm doing right here ain't benefiting me and mine. It's benefiting everybody else that's getting a check off of it.
Yeah,
So I'm like, all right, that's what it's gonna be. So I decided to not play football. Then COVID hit. So COVID changed the reality of college in general. In general, I ended up going back to the boot. Went back home, you know, stayed home for a little bit, came back to Wisconsin, got a job, and we struck out to Alaska.
100%. So you can say this is when you officially locked in on the idea of entrepreneurship.
I could say whenever I first got to college, I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I remember staying up late at night talking to 5 a.m., 6 a.m. just about, how I want to be an entrepreneur and how whenever I get out of college, I'm gonna open my own business. I remember my freshman year in college, I took this one course where it was an entrepreneurship course, and you had to come up with your own business plan, your rough draft, your final draft. And I remember coming up with the same business plan that I'm doing right now. So that was really spoke that to existence. But it was brewing. It was, to be continued type of thing.
Okay, cool. 100%. I understand. So fast forward, we end up making it through college. We graduate.
Most definitely.
Okay, cool. So let me ask you this. Based on your whole overall college experience, do you think personally that the college experience, well, I'm gonna say there's two questions, it's like a two-part question.
All
Number
right.
one, do you think the college experience in itself is needed? People need to go away from home, need to figure out how it is to figure out how you're gonna get your next meal, need to be around different people, different cultures. And number two, do you think college, meaning the studying, the books, putting in the work, and the piece of paper you get, the diploma you get, is that worth it? Do you think that this is something that's needed? This is a huge topic right now. A lot of people, say college is this or college is not that. But what's
All
your
right.
perspective on it?
So I'm gonna answer your first question. I say 100% moving from Louisiana and moving to a different place told me I could stand on my own without needing nobody else. It showed me the definition of being a man and learning how to, some nights you ain't gonna have it, some days you're gonna have it. But continue to remain the same throughout. Don't show nobody that you ain't got it. And whenever you got it, don't show nobody that you got it. So, yeah, it taught me how to adapt through change. But to answer your second question, whenever I got my degree, I was told that at this point in time in life, 2022, that your degree is just like a high school diploma because everybody's getting a degree. So I mean, imagine the feeling that I was, I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, damn, like I didn't spend 4 years of my life, like, just to get a high school diploma. Like, that's crazy. I done gave y'all, almost 100 G's. Like, yeah. But nah, college, you don't need college, man. Real hustler don't gotta go to college. College, what is teaching you? College teach you how to be a worker bee. That's all. It's training you to go work for somebody, get a good education, learn how to sit there for 8 hours a day, for 5 days a week. You off only on the weekends, and you doing work on the weekends. You doing school. You staying up late at night and turning in essays. You working in groups. It's teaching you how to. It's college is structured by the government, and the government runs most of the huge corporations in today's society. So most people who go to college gonna go work for a corporation. So you already embedded that you know what to do, how it's gonna be operated. So it's like slavery in a way, but
Yeah.
you really paying for it. So college backwards, man. You paying for debt. You getting into debt only to go to a job making pennies and you'll never be able to pay your debt off. It's kind of like I'm gonna give you 40 acres in the mill.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna get the 40 acres in the mill though. You
Yeah.
still trying to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So boom. After the college, right?
Yeah,
What's next?
man. After college, what's next?
What's next?
And I ain't even know. Like now, I'm heading back to where I'm at. Straight, we got 10. Uh, I'm back to square one. I'm feeling at the time, I got a girlfriend who a hustler, who a grinder. Like, yeah. So, you know, I'm trying to match energy. I'm trying to match aura. You feel me? Like iron sharpen iron, like most death. So at this point in time, I'm like, all right, what's next, man? I really don't know. I really know for a fact that I don't want to work for nobody because I know I already did that. I know what it's like to work for somebody, and I know I didn't went to college for what, you know. So I'm like, all right, with this business administration degree, I'm gonna go be a boss. So I come up with a game plan. Me and Shorty come up with a game plan. I'm rapping it to her. She polishing it up, letting me know what it is. And from there, boom, came up with a whole name, Great Lakes Home Healthcare. So then I was like, all right, if I want to start a healthcare facility, I might as well start it in Wisconsin because I already built my roots here for 4 years. Ain't no need to go back home where you've been gone for 4 years and now you got to restart and rebrand, restructure. So I'm finna do it all over here.
Yeah.
So
Like that.
I had to start from square one, not knowing nobody want to help me out, no handouts, doors closing, but end up getting a house. Uh, I ended up getting a house in April. So I got my first lease in May. So
Yeah.
then
Let me
it really
stop.
just took off.
Let me stop you there. So, talked about your shorty, bro. Talk about this. How important is it to have someone behind you that supports your dream and want to see you succeed, rather than man, there's a lot of relationships out here, bro. Where a nigga not gonna admit it, but man, my shorty, she really bringing me down. You feel me? And whether it be her emotions, I got to tend to her. Whether she want me to spend on her that I don't have, she simply just she not there. You feel me? She not even supporting me at all. You dig what I'm saying? How important is it to have somebody like that in your corner?
Man, I say it's 100% important. Like it changed the perspective of who you is as a person. It changed your faith perspective. You wake up every day knowing that you got somebody by your side, knowing that somebody, your mama may not be, adamant about you doing what you're doing, but to say that the person that you running it with every day, you know, mentally, spiritually, you know, emotionally, everything underneath the sun. You feel me? Like, all right, I got 100% faith in you. Whatever you do, whatever happened between us, you know, whatever it is, man, even if we fall off, I know you're gonna succeed. I bet that's all I needed to hear. All
Yeah.
right, cool. I'm gonna go run and make this run real quick. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. So
Yeah.
that's really what happened, you know. Yeah, I needed that. It made me who I was today. You know, I had that faith. If I would have never had that and had somebody who was helping me whenever I didn't even see the doors, you feel me? Like pushing me, like, oh, you ain't on your shit. Go ahead. Hey, you slacking, like what you doing? You supposed to be a business owner. All right, cool. Sharpen my iron real quick. You feel me? Now I'm finna go get it because you woke me up.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Need
That's
that.
big, man. That's big. That's real big, man. That's real
Need that.
big, man. Um, so boom, we on the grind now. So now we done, like you said, we done had doors open, doors closed. I'm trying to get my business off the ground. It's a lot of people telling me no. It's some people telling me yeah. Some people telling me maybe, and it's simply
Right.
just a lot of waiting time. You know,
Right.
this another mental obstacle you're going through. What's at the forefront of your mind whenever it's days when you down at this point?
Man, bro. Man, before everything get good, everything gotta go sour. But I ain't know that though. Like I ain't like, you know, I'm growing into a man, so I gotta understand like everything gotta go south for me to get where I'm supposed to go, for me to mature.
Okay,
So all right, cool. You know, doors, like you said, doors was closing. Some doors, my foot in the door, but they just slamming it shut every time. So now I keep going back to square one, you know. So now it's like a man trying to figure out his purpose in life, trying to figure it out quick before he drown. So, you know, I'm keeping my head afloat every day. But, you know, some days the waves just get a little higher. Some days I go under. And then the people who you got in your corner who say that they there for you, you know, sometimes they look, they ain't gonna sit there and be firm like a statue forever. They gotta go ahead and do them too. So it's understandable. Everything happened for a reason, man. You know, I say before it get worse, it gotta get better. It really had to show me like, all right, cool. Like I had to start depending on my Bible. I had to start going seek God, seek the person who created me instead of, you know, going seek my shot and, you know, running information past her. Cause now I'm not being a definite leader. I'm being, you know, yeah, I'm supposed to be a leader, man. And I wouldn't be no leader.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We can start right there. So, as a leader, man, what's some as you becoming a leader? Because this is not something that happened overnight for everybody.
Right,
You know what I mean? It's something
right.
you gotta, like you say, you gotta sharpen your skills on every day. First and foremost, what made you realize that you needed to be more of a leader in your life?
Man, really my actions and how I was speaking, you know, words hurt, things that you say hurt. And you got to be able to communicate. Effective leader is someone who's authoritative, who knows how to communicate, but knows how to communicate effectively to where he can get everybody on the playing field to do exactly what he wants by convincing them to do what he really originally intended them to do. So, you know, I was reading this book, The Way of the Superior Man, and it really like enlightened me about, you know, how to move in the world between your woman, between your world and, you know, your spirituality. So understanding that your word is law, that your word is bond, like in order to be a man, like you gotta find your purpose. You gotta be able to provide. Like I know I spoke to you this once before, you know, I ain't had no purpose. I ain't have nothing to provide. So at the time, like shit, I'm getting stressed. I'm like, you know, like, how can I have somebody that's so dependent on me to make things happen? You know, and I ain't got a pot to piss in. I ain't got nothing to bring to the table. You know, so it's like the blind man leading the blind, you
Yeah,
know. So how could I, you know, lead somebody astray if I don't know what I got or even where I'm going? So
yeah,
that's what I really had to understand. Like, all right, cool, I gotta go talk to God about it.
that
So that's
does.
where my journey started.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that's literally what I was going to say next. So how big is giving things up to the Most High on this route to leadership and becoming a better person, becoming a man in general? How big is that?
Right here, man, every day. Matthew 6:33. Seek the kingdom of God above all else, live righteously, and he'll give you everything you need. You know, some of my favorite scriptures, Psalm 37, verse 4 and 5. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires. Commit everything you do to him, trust him, and he will help you. I say, once I started to give myself to him and start asking him questions that I was asking people, like my life just started changing. I started asking him to, can you teach me how to be a leader? Can you teach me how to be, a better businessman? Can you teach me how to grow my business, Great Lakes Home Healthcare, and allow it to succeed? I want it to be built on the foundation of you. So whenever I started praying all that, boom, God started making everything fall out. Man, fell out with my shorty. All right, cool. Not understanding nothing. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him and he'll make your path straight. What I didn't understand was the whole time he was making my path straight because he was putting me on the path that he needed me to go. But I didn't understand it. So I'm not understanding where he taking me and what I got going on. All I know is that I started a business, and I had excellent people in my corner.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, so like I was saying, with my experience, things wasn't going how I expected it to, but that's always how life is. Oftentimes we pray for things and we expect to have this fantasy that things gonna go exactly how we want it. And we just gonna live this magical life. But if you live in that magical life, what are you growing? Like how you growing and you becoming a better man and you understanding the values and the principles of how to be a man and how to be an individual leader and overall servant of God. So, he had to sit me down on that humbling stool and I had to start praying every day. But it wasn't even more about praying, it was more about communicating. I had to start reading my Bible. So I really started reading my Bible every day. I really started praying. I really started meditating. I was going through it for a little minute. But hey, he really opened my eyes. I was once blind, but now I'm awake. You know?
100%. 100%. I like that, bro. I like that. That made me think about something. I've been saying this a lot lately. It's not your time and it's his. And another thing you told me, you said you can ask God for something, right? And it's already
Yeah,
done. You got it. But the path that you think you got to go through might not be the path he wants you to go to get to it. You dig what I'm saying? And that's big. And that as being a leader, it has to be like that. It's only right. If I have a certain plan and it goes exactly according to this way, and that's the only way I'll ever know. I won't know how to react when something goes bad. I won't know how to handle myself under pressure. I won't know how to handle other people under pressure because being a leader is, radiating that to people around you. You follow what I'm saying as it relates to a relationship. You're surely looking for guidance in a way too. You gotta be the protector. You gotta tell her this is where we're going, and she gotta have that confidence in you that you making the right decision. And you show that. You show that by living like that, bro. So you know that's big, bro. That's big. So I want to ask you this: it's a lot of people who they understand what you're saying, and they would agree to what you're saying, but it's just where do I start? Someone, I don't even know who that is, bro. So it's like where do I start? What's some advice you would give? I got my phone silenced, but my iPad I don't know how to silence. I mean my laptop I don't know how to silence. That's getting
yeah.
edited out, so we starting back. But so boom, well, it's a lot of people that would agree to that, but I want to know a lot of people they don't know where to start, and they what's a piece of advice that you could give to somebody who's attempting to go down this path, and regardless if they're trying to be and do the same things that you want to do, they simply just want to better their relationship with the Most High.
Man, I say with anything that you do, whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you want to work a 9 to 5, whether you want to, get one of the best jobs possible, ask him for guidance first. Because a lot of times, I'm gonna put it like this, man. My mom's always tell me anything worth having don't come easy. And if it do come easy, it's not worth having. So
Okay.
I really had to understand that as I'm going through my journey still today, because it's not over. So as I'm, going through the midst of it, going through my trials, I'm like, anything worth having don't come easy. There's gonna be days where you don't feel like doing it. And it's gonna be days where you feel like it's unbearable. It's gonna be days where you just don't understand what's really going on, and you confused. And it's gonna be days where you're not getting no answers at all. Like I used to feel like, man, at one point in time, I feel like God ain't never heard me because I ain't never hear him back. But it was because it was a one-sided communication. So I say you got to start with just reading the Bible. What I started off with, I started with Matthew, one of the most easiest reads ever. Understanding him and understanding what he did for you and understanding that how to pray. Understanding like what you do for people, like giving out your blessings and stuff like that. In order to be blessed, you must bless people and not look for nothing in return. So really, like reading that, it really like got me to read the Bible for
Okay.
real.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. 100%. So you say through that you can open up your heart and you know allow him inside of you. You feel me? And,
Yeah,
and,
man.
and it start with that. It start with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You feel me? And one thing I just kind of noticed I want to add on because you kind of hit a lot of the points and you teaching me too along the way. I'm writing notes and a lot of the stuff you saying I'm taking heed to. But it don't take a lot, bro. God is the most fair, the most high. You feel me? He see the effort. If you putting in the effort, if you doing something that's outside of your comfort zone that you're not used to doing, whether it be praying and you haven't prayed, writing and you never wrote to him, any reading your Bible and you never read your Bible, a paragraph, a chapter. You don't have like he sees it. He sees it. It's
Right.
about the effort. And it's crazy just because that can relate to so many things, but you put in effort, you effort is the beginning of getting anything you want, the stuff of your dreams. So, kind of segueing into business. So the business, we building it on the basis of the Lord, right?
Right.
So speak more on front, speak more on Great Lakes Home Healthcare. What exactly is it?
So Great Lakes Home Healthcare is an adult family home, owned and operated by myself right now. I do have staff members, but it's a 4-bedroom facility, basically for behavioral health residents. And I teach them independent living skills. I teach them, daily living skills about life, things that you teach your kids, how to cook, how to clean, how to go get a job, how to take care of yourself as a man. It's an all-male home teaching you responsibilities. So me being so young, being 22, I feel like it's only I'm in the right shoes. No matter if you young or you old, I'm teaching people from 22 all the way to 46. I'm teaching them how to, you know, be a man. And at the end of the day, a man is a man no matter what age you is. And that's one of the most easiest things to teach, even as I'm growing as a man. The things that I'm learning as I'm teaching, I'm learning. I'm learning how to be a man, but I also am learning how to be a leader, learn how to be a future father, a future husband, learn how to be a better brother, better friend, learn how to be a better coach, things like that.
100%, 100%. So for the people that don't know, with you taking in residents, it's not just anybody that can come in. You have people that have certain disabilities,
Yeah.
certain things that alter them from functioning completely independently on their own in society. So how has it been working? How humbling has it been working with people with you know different mental disorders, different things of that nature?
Man, it's an eye opener because they got so many mental disorders out there that we not exposed to because normal society usually just don't talk about it. They put these people in special ed as a kid, they put them in foster homes as kids, they lock them up, they do all these things and they shun them away from the world. So we have no idea about these people. But whenever you and I was placed in that position in Alaska, we starting to understand and see these different types of things. You know, I lived a pretty good life, shit. I got every shoes that I wanted, clothes, I'm wearing designer, all of that. So I'm like understanding that all these things come from helping y'all. Without y'all, I wouldn't have none of these
Yeah,
things. So it's a humbling experience to understand that these people don't have no friends, they don't have no family. All they have is somebody who's helping them learn how to become a better version of themselves with the disabilities that they have in life. It's very enlightening.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So as you I'm sure you had ups and downs, with business and had ups and downs with residents. I want to ask you what has been the hardest thing with dealing with people with a mental disorder, understanding.
Not flashing out. Not flashing out on them. Understanding that you gotta have patience, man, and coming from where we come from, man. Somebody call you out your name and try to play on your top, you immediately, you know, man, yeah, put your shoes on. What's up?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like you do that, you one wrong move. You feel me? You could throw everything away. It only take 1 second, 5 minutes, man, less than that, to everything that you built you could lose it all. So me understanding that through downfalls that I had in Alaska really prepared me for where I am right now. For me getting into it with residents and like, man, nah, bro, they know exactly what they doing. They didn't did this, they didn't did that. But me having to understand the overall message of disdain from things that you cannot control. You know, I read that in the 48 Laws of Power. Disdain from things that you cannot control, and really also showing people they try to get under your skin for a reason. Don't give them no reason to do that, man. Like, don't show no emotion. And that was one of my hardest things still today. I still show emotion whenever somebody pissed me off. But it's like learning that you can't do that, because they're going to forever get under your skin. So that's one of the hardest lessons that I had to learn.
Yep. Excuse me. And I want to point out again, if you notice, this man's responses are all the way he's looking at these situations. A lot of times we get placed in situations, and I could be placed in the same predicament as you and look at it like a whole different way. I'm getting into it with somebody and they calling me out of my name. I instantly go there. But you already overseeing and understanding what's going on, bro. I'm placed in this situation for a reason. These people are the reason I'm eating. So with that being said, I got to take this slice of humble pie. You follow
Right.
what I'm saying? And this whole time we've been speaking is a lot of things that you done went through, bro, and you done talked about. And a lot of times we think we're not strong enough to overcome these things, and we like to take the easy way out of, oh well, damn, like you said, at some point you was like, man, I feel like he not hearing me. I feel like nobody listening to me. Like, damn, why this keep happening to me? But a quick perspective change. You change the way you look at something. What you look at it eventually start to change, and just noticing on this journey that you take, and you um encapsulating more of this type of personality. You're doing this more. I'm seeing that. And it takes that to become a man. It takes that to become a successful business owner. That's why entrepreneurship is so big, because it the how successful your business is going to be is basically on how self-developed you are. Excuse me.
Most
How
definitely.
good
Most
of a
definitely.
person you are. If you like to make things look a certain way for the people outside of you, then you're not taking care of the inside. And on the business, you're gonna make it seem like on the outside everything is all fine and dandy, and start to forget about the little things. If I'm naturally taking care of the little things in life, I know I want to become a better brother. I know I want to become a better relationship partner. I know I want to become a better son. I'm doing the small things to make sure that I'm getting to that every day. Then in my business, when that loose end come, I'm not just gonna forget about it in the back of my head. I'm gonna go take care of it. And so I'm learning, man. This is blowing me, bro. It's blowing me. I apologize for that, but I'm noticing, like, in entrepreneurship, like, that's how you have to be. The most successful people, they have these daily patterns, these daily routines, this time that they set aside of meditation, this time that they set aside to give into the Most High, this time that they set aside for play. Don't It's not all work. It's not all work, but they got time and structure. You follow what I'm saying? And they do the small things, bro. And so I'm noticing that with you, and it start by your perspective. A lot of the situations we could let falter us and stop us from going forward, but you was able to find a positive, the silver lining. And I want to
Yeah.
point that out, so people that's listening and watching and understanding this, like, you could do the same thing. It just take that small perspective change. Um, so business. So while we kind of kind of segueing off of that, you don't have to get into too much detail, but what you say? What's the future looking like for you? If you could draw out the next 5 to 10 years for yourself.
Next 5 to 10 years. I'm gonna start with my short term, 10 years long term, but we're gonna get into short term. But you know, my first facility doing well. Got my first resident as of now, and that only took me from I got my license September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So within 6 months I got my first resident. Got my first resident late February.
Congratulations.
So yeah, I appreciate that, man. So the way it's looking, I'm gonna get my other 3 residents within the next upcoming few weeks, and the house done. Once you start your facility, get the residents, game over. Start back over. It's like Monopoly, man. Hey, I've just got a house. Now it's time to go get me something else, man. I gotta go get another. Gotta go get the property to go with that bit, man.
All
Add
right.
on to the yellow pieces.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's what I'm at with it. And then after that, you know, shit, we trying to take flight, go back and bring something back in our community, man. Like we always leave our community to go do things elsewhere and be a positive impact in other places, and come back home and all we got to show for it is clothes and cars. That's not good enough. That's not helping people out. That's not making no impact. All you doing is putting a target on your back by showing like, you know, I can't help y'all. But I did something for myself though. And I ain't that dude. I had to understand that in business is not about money, and life is not about money, it's about purpose. And the more purpose that you have and the more people that you affect, that's the blessings that you get, you know. Man, I predict, man, Rolls Royce coming soon. You feel me? Like, yeah, I already predict. It's this a multi-million-dollar industry right here. If you do it right within the next few years, I'll be a multi-millionaire. So, but that's all praise to the Most High. It all come from staying down, staying humble, and understanding that, just like I give, I also take away. So be humble with your blessings. Um, and yeah, that's where it's at. I wanna, open up a few homes here and go home and try to dibble and dabble into some homes over there, maybe one or two, and then get off into other business ventures. I want to be a serial entrepreneur, so that's why I'm at with it.
I love that, man. I love that. I love that. That was my question too. I literally got that wrote down. Serial entrepreneurship. Serial entrepreneurship, man. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Most deaf, man.
So, um, you know, it's a few more little things I wanted to kind of talk about. So, um, one thing I did want to say, bro, since young, I talked about this last time. Um, one thing I always noticed about you, and I also spoke about this on the channel, bro, um, you always made your bed since you was young, bro.
Yeah,
Since a kid. And it wasn't like your people was strict on you and made you make your bed. You know what I mean? And told you, hey, go do this. I never heard Aunt Sue say, Papa, you made your bed, but you just naturally did this. And this took me all up until recently, within the last year, to really understand, as I've been self-developing and reading and understanding the psychology of things more, um, how big of a role that was. And to start off with that at such a young age, bro, what kind of inspired you for the one to just make sure your bed was made every day?
man. I say, you know, I really just it's something that I own, and I slept in it every night. So it's something that to me, in my knowledge, like it's mine, and I got something that I physically own. So I'm gonna take care of it. So I just make my bed every day, and then it's something about just coming home from school, coming home from football practice, seeing that you got a made bed. Just put a little smile on my face. I ain't never think of it as much, but I did notice it whenever I got to high school, and I was my senior year, and I'm finna go to college, and I watched this one video about this man in the Marines, and he talked about why they make people in the military and in the Marines make their bed. And the reason for doing so is because it's the first goal of the day. And once you complete that goal, you complete, all your other goals. You're setting yourself up for success by starting with one thing that's so small. And
Mhm.
so I never realized I was doing that. But once I moved out and I got on my own and I started living by myself, it went from making a bed to um making sure your room is vacuumed every day, making sure your whole house is clean, making sure you cleaning up, and other people are seeing this too whenever they come over, man. You know what they say, like people judge you within the first 30 seconds off of appearance, and they'll tell them everything they need to know about you. And we do this unconsciously without
100%.
even knowing. So, it carries over to the way you clothe yourself, the way you keep your face clean, the way your nails are, little small details that are very intricate that people look and they see. All right, cool. Like this young dude right here, man, he fresh. You feel me? His car clean, inside of his car clean, he clean, sharp head to toe. Man, I want to see why he like that. Something different about him. Now let me talk to him, like see what his mind at. So that's really what it was, man. I want people to look at me and know I'm about my business. So it all started from small discipline.
Yeah, yeah, and that's big, bro. And that's big. That go to show that turns what that turns into over time. It's the same way with anything else. You got a small step in way to success, and a lot of these actions that we able to instill in ourselves now, bro. You know, the return rate of return on those, we can't even explain how big it's gonna be for us, bro. You know,
Most definitely.
um, so um, I think pretty much everything I really wrote, you answer whether I ask you it directly or you just by speaking. I was checking off as you went, and I literally got a check next to everything. Um, you got something you want to add, bro? Something you feel like somebody should hear? Want to put on
I feel
somebody?
like, yeah, man. I feel like what really got me to where I am right now, not only reading my Bible, but also reading books, growing and developing as an individual. Like I did tell you, man, college can't teach you shit, but them books can. Starting off with the Most High, you know, reading your Bible every day, every other day, just jotting notes down, and then start growing your mind, start expanding into, self growth books, start expanding into stock market books, the 48 Laws of Power, business books, reading that and getting a different perspective. Also watching podcasts on one of my favorite people I watch is Rick Ross. Another person that I like is Floyd Mayweather. Um, I recently watched him the other night, and dude a billionaire, and everybody hate him. But I mean, it's cool though, because you know, if they hating that you're doing something right. But reading this one book that really inspired me was The Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. And one thing that was noted in that book throughout all 7 chapters was persistent faith. And faith is one of the most biggest things that you need to have in life if you want to succeed. You know, in the Bible it says, all you need to do is have faith as small as a mustard seed to move a mountain. People don't understand the magnitude of how small a mustard seed is. Go to Walmart and go pick up some mustard seeds, literally smaller than the size of your pinky nail. And you gotta understand, like, okay, cool. Like all I gotta do is have faith. One of my favorite speakers is Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey always talk about what it say in the Bible, Habakkuk 2 verse 2. Then the Lord replied, write the revelation down and make it plain on tablets so that a runner may run with it. So that's basically saying, write your dreams down, write your goals and your visions, you know, and you do that every day and stay persistent, man, and you believe that, and can't nobody change your mind on that. Watch, and you read it every day. I found myself reading. I wrote my goals down last. Actually, I've been writing my goals down. I wrote my goals down to start this business. I told myself that I was gonna be a business owner. You know, started a business, and it came happen. I wrote that down last year in January 2022. By the end of January, I had my own business. So it's power in the tongue. Um, and then maybe like September or October, I wrote down some goals for myself and I started reading them every day. And as I would go to the gym, I started to think of ways like to progress and how am I gonna make this happen? Like, how can I get this? I started writing down things that I wanted in life, objects, things that I wanted to change by myself. And I started to see little things and signs that God would send me, and me reading his Bible and stuff like that. He telling me so. I say like that's the power of discipline. Writing down, everybody needs a journal. Everybody, I suggest everybody get a journal. Everybody write down your daily goals. And this journal, actually, it asks me the same question every day. What are you grateful for? I am grateful for trusting God's plan for me. That's what he put on my heart today. So, man, stay down, be still, Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. I will be honored by every nation. I will be honored throughout the world. Man, life ain't no race, man. Don't keep up with the haves and the have-nots. Don't go spend your money on things that's unnecessary just to show somebody that you own and you popping. You feel me? You see millionaires and billionaires, they don't do that. They putting their money in real estate. They know that they own and popping. I read it in this book, The Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. They said that people say that millionaires are selfish, but how can a millionaire be selfish whenever everybody's able to, whenever a millionaire shares their wealth with all of the people in society, meaning that they just built a $10 million building and you walk past it and you like, damn, that's a nice building. Right then and there, that millionaire just shared with you their prized possession and you took it in and you said it was nice. So you enjoyed it too. So it's not just about them,
Yeah.
it's about creating something. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
really what I'm at with it, man. Make sure y'all just stay down till you come up, bro. Be patient. It's a marathon. It's not a race. And
Yeah.
make sure you always bring somebody up with you. Don't ever talk down on the next person because you don't know who they can be and you don't know how powerful a person can be. So, make sure you never gatekeep and you always passing on information and you always networking. Networking so vital. Your character, very vital in life. I don't care if you're a billionaire, a trillionaire. Why would I want to do business with you if your character tainted? You know, in the streets, don't nobody want to deal with a rat. In the business world, don't nobody want to deal with a person who don't handle their money right. You know,
100%.
it all correlate. You just got to put it together, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, what I got for you.
And I like what you said about millionaires sharing too, bro. Because to build this $10 million building, I had to have some plumbers. They had to eat. The flow man, he had to eat. The cement man, the employee that's gonna work there, regardless of what type of building it is. If it's a rental space, somebody now has somewhere to live. You follow what I'm saying? It's a lot of
Yeah.
people that's eating because of this, this that I
The
created.
jobs are created, man, and that's
Yeah.
what people don't understand. Money make the world go around, and a lot of people will sit there and tell you that, you know, money isn't everything. You're right, but money gives you access to certain things. It gives you access to purpose. It gives you access to opportunities. Money is just a tool that you use, and you got to understand that it's an essential tool. And if you just worship the money, you're missing the whole big picture, man. It's not the money, you know, man. Going to courtside at the Phoenix Suns games, it's not the feeling of going courtside. It's the feeling of, oh, I'm going down and I could sit next to, multi-millionaires of huge firms that I have nothing, I don't know anything about, software firms and all this stuff. Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and pick your brain real quick. Now you locked in. Now you didn't locked in with somebody. Now you could make you a millionaire. Now you could make 10 more M's just by locking in on one deal, all because you use your tool to go sit at a game. But
Yeah.
people don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. That's big, man. That's big. That's
Yeah,
big. Hell yeah. So shit, man. I appreciate you for coming, bro. 100%.
I was there. Appreciate you for having me,
I
man.
brought this up to you, bro, and you jumped on and you was down. I ain't have to talk you into it, no nothing. And you came and you spoke. You ain't just gobble. Now you spoke real, bro. And you
Yeah,
told me I learn from you every day, bro. Every time we speak, I'm learning. I'm just grateful for you to, trust to speak to me about things that you do and tell me about what's going on. So and ask me for advice, bro. You still humble enough to ask for advice when you don't know what's going on, bro. And that motivates me to do the same thing. You feel me? So
I was there.
man, you know, I love you for life. That ain't gonna never change, bro. Since Jits, you know, everything we do, for, you know who it's for, man. And you know, through the Most High, ain't nothing we can't accomplish. Ain't nothing you can't accomplish, my brother.
Right, man. Hey, it's only right that we go get it. If you didn't, you know, and I got that from Eric Thomas, man. If you didn't sacrifice something, why quit? You done already put in your time. You done already lost things. People done already left your corner. Man, it's time to go get paid.
All right.
Ain't nobody leaving a paycheck. You know, we ain't leaving nothing on the table. We got to go get everything, man. We cleaning it out.
100%. 100%. Say that. Shit. Bet.
And I appreciate you for having me, man. You know, I love you, man. And it was a good talk always.
Already, man. Till next time.
Ain't nobody gon' give me nothing, I had to learn it. And everything I got came from nothing, I had to earn it. Try to check me out my spot, bitch, you button, bitch, you get told tag. I got shooters and I send them where your door at. I got Tony on my side and he gon' open